the country you are coming from, and why you joined this boot camp. What's your interest? What attracted you, and what is your expectation? What are you looking forward to get out of this boot camp? Just go to the group and type, my name is this, I'm from here, this is why I joined the boot camp, this is my expectation. I'm watching my phone, I'll be seeing it, I'll be reading it from here while I continue the introduction, because I want us to maximize our time. All right. So, oh God, help me with this admission. All right, welcome to Global Content Writers Bootcamp. It's a 4-day journey to get unleashed. And you'll be wondering, is this fitting for me? So I'm telling you who this bootcamp is for. Whether you are a beginner, like you are just starting out, you've not written anything significant before. All right, this is your 0 to Content Pro Starter Kit training bootcamp. And then if you're already a writer and you are looking to monetize your skill, then this is that opportunity you've been waiting for to trigger you to monetize your skills. And then for coaches and experts, this is how you can convert your content to cash. It's a guaranteed system. I've worked it and I'm working it so I can prove to you that it's workable. And before okay, I'm saying it. Just keep it coming. I will read it. I'll read it. Very important. So just like I said earlier, this came about because this came about because of my passion to unleash my potential. I am somebody who wants, if you know me, that is one of the things. I will be at my best, and I'm a woman who is intentional about balance. So using my gifting of writing, have passion for teaching. I'm actually an educator. All right. So, but beyond that, motherhood will just bring out a teacher in you. Beyond even being certified or being, educational background. All right. But if I have to mention, I studied mathematics, physics, and I'm forging mathematics statistics, and I will further it again and again. So for somebody who feels like content writing is for English people, this is a debunk of your excuse. I have nothing to do with English, all right, except for communication and personal development. That is not what I studied. All right, I hope that saves somebody. All right, so how I started content writing agency, this content writing agency, the story is saved for day 4 because that is the topic we'll be dealing with. So let's go into what we have for today. So we are dealing with content writing mindset today. And tomorrow we'll be teaching on book writing mastery for nonfiction. And then day 3, we'll be talking about editing beyond tenses. I told you that editing is not about, it's not typically about correcting tenses. That is the later thing, the finishing part of editorial work. All right, there is more to editing than basic grammar, and I will be showing you before and after practically in class. And then day 4, I will show you the blueprint for your skill and knowledge monetization. That's why I don't want to tell much story about content blog, all right, today. So let's go ahead. I want to give you a quick overview of content. I extracted this, what I want to share here now. These few slides, I extracted it from my course. I must admit that this going back and forth to admit people is a bit distracting, but we'll manage it. So let's see people we have on call. We have Damal Nathaniel from Nigeria. Says he joined the bootcamp to unleash his potentials and learn to monetize his skills. We have Ikeme Funa Michael from Nigeria. He said, I want to improve on myself. We have Idachaba Timothy from Kogi State, Nigeria. He said he's interested in getting a better understanding of content writing. We have Lola Day from Nigeria too. He said he wants to master her writing skill. We have Priscilla from UAE, the United American Emirates, says she wants to enhance her writing skill. We have Temi from Nigeria, says she joined so that, okay, let me read it again. I joined to know what is required to be a writer as she planned to write books. All right, I just want to say a warm welcome to every one of you, and by God's grace that your expectations will be met. All right, so basically I want to give a quick overview of what content creation is. I don't want to speak grammar. You can find these things online. You can just say what is content creation and you just see it. I want us to talk less of things we can easily Google and talk more of things that are deep inspiration, that are original to me. All right, so content creation is problem solving. That is me. That is how I see it. I see content creation as problem solving through offering value that a given audience find useful in meeting their need. That may not be somebody else's idea or perspective, but this is my thought. This is my perspective. And I wrote this thing this night, few minutes to this class, thinking about what I really think about content creation. So for me, content creation is problem solving through offering value that a given audience find useful in meeting their need. You won't see it anywhere. All right. So different people have different things they think about content creation. And that is why they do what they do. That is what motivates them to create the kind of content they create. So for me, this is what it is. So when I create content, this is the mindset that informs what I create. This is the mindset that informs what I say. This is the mindset that informs what I write. This is the mindset that informs what I do. I'm looking to solve a problem. I'm looking to offer value to a given people that will meet their need. And they will be glad and grateful that they met me. All right. So what is content? Let's now go to what some basic definition. All right, like this lister, he said, he defined content as information presented with a purpose, distributed to people in a form through a channel. And Joanne said, content is any communication in any medium that serves a purpose, whether to influence, educate, inform, warn, express oneself, or spark conversation within a given context. I hope we are recording. All right. Just to be sure. Let me know you are with me.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Confirm from your end that we are on record.
Yes, the record button is
We are
on.
recording.
All right. So back to our slide. If you look at this definition, you will see certain keynotes. All right. Talking about purpose, talking about a people, talking about form of the content, talking about channel. All right. So these are keynotes of what content is about. Please keep mute. All right. So content creation is the process of deciding what message you want to pass across to others, the form or medium you want to pass that, you want to use to pass across that message, you know, how you want to communicate that message, and then plan that message and go ahead and make it happen. You can produce that content in different forms. I hope we know that we are just here to talk about one form of content presentation, which is writing, right? There is also audio content, there are video content, there are graphic content, there are infographic content. There are different ways messages can be passed across. Okay, so but I'm going to
Sorry to cut you. You are no longer sharing your slides.
really.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes, it's on now.
All right. All right. So components of content writing, just like the way we read in that definition. We have information, we have purpose, we have people, and then we have form, and then we have channel. All right. So these are the components we see when it comes to content creation. So the information is a question of what are you communicating? The purpose is a question of why. Why are you communicating this message? Why are you doing what you are doing? All right. Then the question of people is, the people is a question of audience. Who is the information for? When we go into the practical now, I'll be showing you content, poor content, and transformed content. Content that lack basic concise information, content that lack purpose, content that is not targeted to a people, and we will read it when it is vague and read it when it is transformed, so you can spot the difference. I'm doing that so that I won't just speak English and tell you when you are writing a content, it should have a purpose, you should write it for a people, you know, and all of that. And then you don't know how a content that is written for a purpose, a content that is written for a definite audience, you don't know how you look like. If you come across a content, you cannot differentiate, you know, if this content is well written or not. That is why I just don't want to speak English. I want us to quickly do this quick introduction and go into real practical, so that when you do your writing, you can judge by yourself if this writing is actually in order. When you read something, you can judge by yourself and say, yeah, this content well defined. This is what who this content is written for. This is what this content is, you know, for. And if there is any gap, you can say this is what this content is lacking. For those who want to build career in writing and those who want to build career in editing, if you cannot differentiate a poor content from a standard, a professional content, then you will not be able to help your clients, because you will not be able to find out what exactly is missing. And then, of course, we know that technology is there and quite and fast evolving, but I don't want you to allow AI to take your brain. Use AI. Don't let AI use you. We'll talk about that later. All right. So who can create content? Anybody can create content. All right. So whether you are a writer, you are a graphic designer, you are creating content in your own way. Have you ever seen a painting and the painting speaks louder than voice, and you can think of many things just seeing that image? I have given this illustration before. I saw a wood, what do I call it now? Should I call it a statue? You know, where the person is trying to form his image, you know, by cutting out the excesses. But immediately I saw that image, I did not remember. I would have brought it out here. But I've created a content on that on my Facebook page. Jenny John-Diemuagene. Immediately I saw that image, what came to my mind is personal development. What came to my mind is personal development. Personal development is personal. Please mute yourself. So what came to my mind was personal development is personal. Nobody is going to do your, personal development for you. Nobody's going to read for you. Sometimes I feel like it. I feel like, I wish my husband would just read for me. I'm a student, I'm a student. Sometimes exam, like 3 weeks ago, I dreaded that. I dreaded the 2 weeks. When I write one paper and come back, I will say, I just wrote one paper, or, I would say 7 minus 6. 7 minus 1, 7 minus 5, and all of that until I finished. And interestingly, I saw 2 results of the courses today, and they are excellent. So that's by the way. So nobody will read for you. Nobody is going to read for you. All the things I'm going to teach you here is that's the only part I can play. I am not going to come and write for you. Mentors, coaches, just name all the support system. If they are there for you and you don't take the initiative to lead yourself, nothing is going to change. All right. So let me not go into preaching of self-leadership. All right. So I want you to just understand that you can create content. Don't feel like it is not your thing or it is meant for some kind of people. Our world is a world of content today. It simply means be bold about what you believe. Be confident about your values. Speak about it, represent it, embody it. All right. And that is it. Because sometimes I'm concerned. I tell my friends, I say, how can somebody be coming out to do certain kind of things that you are ashamed of? As a man, have you ever seen another man do something online and you are ashamed of it? Like, this person has disgraced manhood. Or as a woman, you see another woman do something online and you are feeling like, sisterhood is ashamed of this person. And all of these things, they call it content. So if you feel like this is absurd, you come out and show us the things that are right. So anyway, that's by the way. All right. So before I go into this document where we will do more tonight, I want you to understand the basic mindset and you need to bear when it comes to creating content. Number 1 is create content for a reason. Number 2 is create content for a people. I'm going to show you this thing with written text. All right. But I want you to have it in your mind so that when I start reading before and after of excerpts of introductions, you will understand what I'm saying better. So I said 1, create content for a reason. 2, create content for a people. 3, create content to solve a problem. And 4, create content that meets a need. All right? Create content for a reason. Create content for a people. Create content that solves a problem and content that meets need. All right? So here are some of my books. I just put 2 books here. Battle for Her Seed, Adore Her. All right. So I've written more books for women than for everyone. I have books for everyone too, like Art of Living Intentionally, The Wisdom of the Ant, and Release Your Potential, Treasure Your Potentials. Yes. So I call that one Productivity Bundle. Then I have a bundle I call Motherhood Bundle. This Battle for Her Seed is one of them. My Story of Restoration, Coming, and A Visionary Woman. And then this Adore Her. Yes, five books in one bundle that I call Motherhood Woman thing, All right. And all of them, I have coaching program designed for them. And the best selling is Adore Her, revealing and celebrating the inner essence of womanhood. And I will tell you what inspired this to illustrate the point of write for a reason, create content for a reason, create content for a people, create content to solve a problem. One day I was going for choir rehearsals. I told you that I'm a worship minister. I was going to rehearsals, and I saw a little boy. The boy, before we even came face to face, the boy looked at me with such a smile and said, Auntie, you are beautiful. He said it in my native language. Because we are not all from the same place, I will spare you the vernacular. All right. He said, Auntie, you are beautiful. You know, I couldn't help it. It's just such a cute little young boy. I doubt he's not 10. He should be around 6 and 7, 6 and 8. I'm not sure about his age, but he's a little boy, a preteen. So when he told me, Auntie, you are beautiful, I smiled. I said, thank you. He said it again, Auntie, you are so beautiful. Oh, I was blushing. Our normal human being, we like that return of compliment. So I now returned the compliment, tried to return the compliment because I couldn't return it. I tried to return the compliment and say, you are so cute, to such a cute boy. The countenance of this boy fell. He said, no, Auntie, I am ugly. He didn't tell me I am not beautiful. He didn't tell me I'm not handsome. He went straight to the opposite and told me I am ugly. Like he so personified. Told me he's ugly. That no. I should not tell him that he's fine. No. I was surprised. I was in a hurry, but I had to stop. Even though I was working. Multiple people on call. Are they waiting to be admitted? Please, somebody should ask in the group if there is somebody in the waiting, because I'm not seeing it. Oh, waiting to be admitted too. Oh, so sorry. So the boy told me I am ugly, that he is not fine. I was so surprised how the boldness, just give me a moment. The more I tried to convince the young boy that he is fine, the more he affirmed the opposite, that he is ugly. He used ugly in my native language, as in the typical native language. That is what he used. It is different from saying I'm not so fine or I'm not fine than when you say I am ugly. As I left that boy, I lost my pace. I said, why is this little preteen? He's not 10 years. I don't know how old he is, but I'm sure he's not 10. How come this little boy believe so much, so confidently that he can shout it? We were apart as I continued moving. We were far apart. I kept on telling him, stop it, don't say that. You're such a cute boy. Say, no, Auntie, I am ugly. But that he even said he's ugly is not even what is the matter. But what really got me thinking is the fact that this boy has the ability, sense of beauty, to recognize beauty in other people. He saw me from afar and saw a beautiful auntie. But him that is close to himself did not see any good thing about himself. So I started thinking, that was where that book, Adore Her, was inspired. I started thinking, how come it's so easy for us to see beauty in other people? And I'm talking to somebody on call. You see beauty in other people. This person is doing well. This person is gifted. This person is 10. His own talent is 10 talent. This other person's talent is 5. This other person's talent is 3. This other person's talent is 2. This other person is 1. And you are the only person that don't have talent. It's a mindset. How come he saw beauty in me? He can spot beauty from afar in other people, but he cannot see beauty in himself. That is the world we are in. And to think that he's a child, parents, we have to rise up. Mindset. All right. So I wrote that book, Adore Her, to bring the woman to a place where you can allow yourself to evolve. I literally unveiled it as if it was covered. The subtitle is Revealing and Celebrating the Inner Essence of Womanhood. I touched every area, the multiple caps we wear, everywhere. It's a complete 30 days transformational journey with inspirational, like I speak to you, then affirmation, then journaling prompts. It's rich. That was what, inspired that writing. How can I help women? How can I help women to see beauty in themselves? We are more than what we think, and that was how I wrote that book. And there is a book written by Coach Victor. Victor is on call. He wrote it for a people. I just use this to illustrate that keynote I gave you. All right. Write for a people, write for a purpose, write for a people, write to solve a problem. So that Adore Her is solving the problem of low self-esteem, lack of confidence. All right. Lost of oneself. Some women have gotten themselves lost in the routine of wifing and mothering, and they think that is all about their life, and they have concluded that having a life of balance where they can be all they are designed to be, use their giftings, leverage on their passion, that one is just forget about it. Let's just be going. One day we will leave this world. No, I'm not going to accept that. All right. So Coach Victor wrote a book for a people. He said it's for young boys and he wants to teach them to be confident. Is that right, Coach Victor?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the book, what is the purpose of the book?
It's to inspire boys to greatness, helping them to become more confident, more respectful, and more purpose-driven.
Beautiful. All right. So he's solving a problem of, low self-esteem or young boys coming up and they are having identity crisis. They are not sure of how they should live because a lot of models, confusing models all over the place. All right. So let's go back to our slide very quickly. All right. So content writing mindset. If I want to dwell on this, we'll spend our whole night, but I'll be very quick about it. Hello, please, if there's something you want to draw my attention to, kindly use text. Oh, somebody needs to be accepted. So sorry, Mrs. Ako. And why am I not seeing it? Just give me a moment. All right.
No. Maybe
Hello.
you can make the call to be open to everybody.
How do I do
Anybody
that?
that wants to. I don't know.
Because I've checked. If it was Zoom now, and I know how I would have done that.
Maybe in subsequent meeting you make it so. How that is made possible is if you send it through an email and you accept it through your calendar. If you accept it
Okay.
through your calendar, it's automatic access.
Okay. Now I can't even see the people in waiting, and I'm getting calls here. Okay, I've seen her. Oh man, so sorry, sis. Welcome. All right. So the mindset, the content writing mindset, all right, is still building on what I have shared with you, is that you should understand that you are a creator. Hope you can still see my slide.
Yes.
All right. Understand that you are a creator. Tell yourself, you can call yourself by name and tell yourself, I am a creator. All right. Understand that you have the ability to create. It is in you. All right. You have the innate ability to create something we call intrinsic value. Value that is of originality. It's not like something from the outside added it to you. You can only, of course, keep improving, but your ability to create is innate. It's an intrinsic value. It came with your originality. It came with the way God forged you. All right. So number 2 is you have a unique content in your unique voice. And you see, this is a liberation for somebody. All right. Because some people think that what they want to do, somebody is already doing it. So they feel like
I think our network is down. Okay,
I'm
you are
back.
back.
Yes, I'm
Welcome
back.
back.
I'm back. Thank you very much. So you feel like everybody is already doing it now. And now what I want to tell you now, you have your unique content in your unique voice. There are hundreds and thousands, if not millions, of people who have something to say about, womanhood, about self-awareness, about discovery of purpose, about, helping another person to, come to that place of connecting with her authentic self and unleashing her potential. But I never feel intimidated about myself or my coaching program to think like I think there are many women coach all over the world. Or as a writer, I will not feel like, look at this person, or look at the other person. The way I see, the way I perceive things, the way I interpret things, my perspective, my uniqueness, my style, my voice. It's know your voice. So even if you think there's somebody, many people talking on the topic of your interest, it does not stop you. When you come to talk about this thing, you talk about it in your unique way. So you should be confident to embody your unique self and bring out the message you have for your world. All right. So don't feel like somebody's already doing what you want to do, so there is no room for you. It is a lie. And that is one of the things that are limiting people. So they feel like there is no space for me again. There are many coaches in this niche. Where will I start from? What will I say that nobody has said? Your unique voice. There is no second you anywhere in the world. You must have heard that before, but I want that to get into your head and your heart, most importantly, tonight. Okay? So understand that you are a creator. Understand that you have a unique content in your unique voice. All right? So number 3 is you have a unique audience, not just everybody. You may be serving women just like I'm serving women as a coach, but the value, the problem we solve, the transformation we bring cannot be exactly the same. All right. There are people who are writers. They write for there are different niches, they are different, style, they are different. But I know that I am specific about nonfiction. And then there are different ways we communicate. So I am not intimidated if I come and sit in the midst of 1,000 or 1 million book editors or content writers. When you see something written by John-Diemuagene, it will be different. All right? So, and I want you to believe that about what you have to offer. And then your audience have a need. Your audience have a need, and it will be unfair for you to deny them that privilege of having their need met. All right? So they have a need, and you have the solution to that need. Your content is designed to meet the need of that audience. Your content is designed to meet the need of that audience. If you keep quiet and said, anyway, this thing is just, it has become a norm, what can we do? Or let them hear what other people are saying. You give excuses for not, giving expression to your passion. There's something I'm feeling like talking about it, but I don't want to dwell on that today, because I want to talk about it on day 4. I want to talk about it on day 4, but it's just coming to my mouth now. You see, when it comes to giving expression to what you carry, many times it's simply because we don't have value for it. We have not attached enough value for you. Feel like because you know it, everybody knows it, or because it comes easy with you, who doesn't know that, or who you just assume and conclude that it's basic intelligence or common sense, but it's not common. All right. And when you don't add value to what you have, you don't see that intrinsic value in your gifting, in your potential, in what you are capable of, you won't give it expression. You will not even give yourself a chance to try. You will not evolve from the person you are to the person you admire. You will just be seeing the beauty in other people, just like that little boy who told me that I'm a pretty auntie, but said he is ugly. So it's a serious matter. It's a serious matter. And there's a story in the Bible where a young man, if you are a Christian, you will know Jacob and Esau. He said, what is my birthright? Like, what are we doing with it? Does he put food on my table? Which is what we do in our world today. You know your call. You have a glimpse of your purpose. You know what your passion is. You know what your drive is. But you get this mindset like, it cannot feed me. It cannot put food on my table. Who does that help? And so you give up. You give it up for somebody to employ you to do something you have no business doing, something you have no passion doing, something you are not even happy doing, simply for a paycheck. It's a matter for another day. All right. So very, very important. You have a content designed for an audience, and you need to bring out that message. Okay. And then your content is not primarily about you, but about your audience. And when we will go into this document, where we will be doing the practical, you will see it as what is called audience-centric content, audience-centered content. So when you are writing, when you are communicating, whether it's actually in writing or in other form of content expression, understand that it's not basically about you, but about your audience. So you have to speak in understand. You not just come and speak BB grammar that only you understand, or you expect the person to carry a encyclopedia or biggest size of Oxford Dictionary, or thank God for technology, to be using Chrome to be checking words while listening to you, or just speak in vague, like somebody cannot really relate. Your audience, people you are talking to, cannot relate to what you are saying. No, it's not about you. It's about your audience. So you have to bring that expression in the language they will understand. And number 7 is that the expression of your authentic self is what your audience connects with. I have said that before when I said that you have a message to your world. You have a message to a particular people. You have content to deliver. All right. So that somebody else is doing a similar thing, does not deter you or does not mean that you cannot, because your authentic self is what you bring to the table, and there is no second you. And it is that your authentic self that people connect with. That is what your audience connect with. Just like everybody can come and talk about content writing, but they are not Jenny, all right? And either am I any other person. So it is that your unique self, that's your authentic self, that's your unique story, that's your expression, that's your you. That is what your audience connect with, all right? So you are the brand and you are the content. Tell yourself you are the brand, you are the content. You know, many people, they come to follow somebody, they're not even hearing what the person is saying. It's the person's personality that they love, all right? So written and spoken words are not mere letters combined into words and then words into sentences. They are heartfelt expressions, all right, that is designed to empower, to inspire, to transform your listeners and your readers. So, as learned people on this call, I believe with all my heart that you've got something to give. You've got something, you got value, story, experiences that you have drawn life lessons from, knowledge bank that you can turn into digital assets, that you can turn into books, into courses, into coaching programs that will outlive you. We have come to the world of technology where you can't just live in one corner, you know, and talk to only the people in your streets. Your legacy in our world today is your content. Tell yourself your content is your legacy. I still go back to listen to podcasts of my tomorrow, podcasts of men who are long time gone. These content they left, these are their legacies. Some of them, things they wrote in their notes, their diaries. People pick their diaries and turn their diaries into messages. You know, the other day I was sharing on Facebook that I have consistently journaled for over a decade, and I piled my diaries like this. You know, the diaries with dates, big ones like this. Aha, I can track it to at least 12 years. Let me just say at least. All right, I know it's more than that. But I can bring, I actually snapped them. All right. So people, these are legacies. My children should be able to read things I'm writing in these things and they will get inspiration, you know. So your content is what you are going to leave behind. What are we going to see of you? Where will we find them? We will find them as written texts, maybe in books, whether hard copy or in soft copy, you know, that you were able to publish, or we will see it as podcasts, we will see them as video content, we will see them as blogs, or will you go and then everything just vanish? Tell yourself, in our world today, your content is your legacy. If we can't find anything about your voice, about your message, about your passion, about your expression of your purpose, you have left nothing for the next generation. So it's not something you guess and say, do I want to create content? No, you should. You should. All right. So I want us to round this up. So I have talked about this. Don't die with your story. All right. Mind what you are creating and create what you mind. And don't rob your generation of the value you have to offer, because your content is your legacy. All right. So let me know you are getting value. We are moving to the next level where I'll be showing you the application of these mindsets. All right. We'll see content, we'll evaluate it, we'll ask, we'll analyze it, and we'll show the improved version. So let me know you are getting value. Type in the chat room. We are going to the next level. The next 1 hour is hands-on. We'll be reading documents. Somebody said, can we get the document? Okay. I didn't think of that. I have some other things inside the document. Okay, but let me see. I will give you the document after the class so I can cut out what I don't want to share. There are some of the things that they are just my planners and guides. So I'll just give you, take out what is not for you and send you the before and after of documents. It's okay. I didn't think of that, but I will do that. All right. So tell me, you can see my slide, my document. It's not even a slide now. Can you see this document?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. So another way of saying the things I have told you now, that the mindset you need to carry when you are writing, now let's niche it to writing, is that audience first thinking. That is what I meant when I said you should write for your people. All right. Then value creation focus. That is what I meant when I said you should write for a purpose. Okay. Growth orientation. That is what I meant when I said you should solve a problem. All right. So, and then strategic approach. That is what I meant when I said meet a need. So, audience first thinking is understanding that all content serves a reader. And value creation focus means that every piece of your content should solve a problem or fulfill a need. All right. And then embrace feedback and continuous improvement. And seeing content as a business asset and not just words. I've told you that. And you not just like I use business assets here. I told you earlier that your content is your legacy. And when you are building a legacy, you are making impact. Income is a natural consequence. All right. So now, what are the essential skill sets you need to have when it comes to writing? All right. There's a long list. I didn't even capture them here. Creative thinking, logical thinking, research skills, organizational skills, writing clarity, editing precision, SEO awareness, that is search engine optimized content, which means you think when you are writing, you ask yourself, when the people that needs, that are looking for the solution that I'm offering, what would they say? What would they search? What is the keyword they will search? If a woman is looking to, find herself, connect with her authentic self, what will she search? Self-awareness, self-confidence, my authentic self, balance. You think you get yourself into the shoe of your audience. What would they search for if they are looking for you or looking for the solution you have to offer? Okay. So the bottom line of what I want us to do in this second hour of this class is that we are going to have an individual skill assessment. That's going to be your assignment. All right. I have designed a self-assessment worksheet for you. Okay. Where that will help you to identify your top strength and area that you need improvement. Okay. So, and then you'll be able to share and give me feedback before tomorrow's class. All right. So what we are going to do now is to do exercise on how to apply all this mindset and skill set we have talked about in theory. We're going to read content before and after and show how these things are applied. If we read a poor content that is lacking in purpose, that is lacking in precision, that is lacking in solving a problem, that is not resonating, that lacks emotion, that is dry, that doesn't have storytelling in it, how can we identify such content? And then when we transform it, can we identify the difference that have occurred, the transformation that have taken place? Okay, so we'll be reading content to identify the mindset problem and discuss how the proper content should have been written. Case number 1, you cannot afford to be distracted at this moment. You can't afford to be distracted at this moment. I'm going to show you at least 4 cases, and I want us to use 15 minutes each because we have 1 more hour. All right. So case number 1 is a non-fiction book introduction, and what the person titled it is The History of Science of Sleep. I am going to read this content, and I will give 2 people opportunity to say what they think is wrong or right about this content. If this content integrated the mindset and skill set we mentioned, excuse me, we said right for a purpose, right for a people, all right, solve a need. And in other words, we said your content should be audience specific. You should have clarity. You should be able to say, okay, this is exactly the problem is solving, and it should be expressed in a way that it resonates with your audience, bringing in the emotion and the storytelling that makes it to stick. All right, you can come if you are a mother or you are a teacher or you have in any way been around people, or you are somebody who is into human capacity building. You know that theoretical teaching, when you just come to class and you just speak your grammar and use lecture method, it doesn't stick as much as when you use story to drive home the point. I'm offering a course in my final year running a degree program, and the class we had today is professional ethics. And talking about ethics, our lecturer came and shared a very simple story. I don't want us to go into that story now so that we can get back. But by the time he finished sharing that story, I believe that everybody in that class, at least 90%, should be able to define what is ethics without cramming anybody's definition, by the inspiration that the person will derive from the story the man told. He has finished the lecture. For me, he has finished the lecture. I don't think there's any question he wants to ask that I don't know where to approach it from, by the power of storytelling. And this is what we'll be seeing now. All right. I won't be able to tell you about the power of storytelling and how to write narratives, but I have it in the full course of Write to Wealth. Okay. We will talk about that. So let's get back into our case study. Case study 1. This is a non-fiction book, and this person titled this book The History and Science of Sleep. I will read it, then we will identify the problem with this content, and then we will read the transformed part that follows the mindset and skill set that should be employed in writing. So I will read. Sleep is a biological process that all humans require. This book will explore the scientific aspect of sleep, including REM and non-REM sleep cycles, circadian rhythms, and sleep disorders. Additionally, historical perspective on sleep will be examined. Ancient civilization had various theories about sleep, and modern science has made significant discoveries in the field of sleep research. Sleep deprivation can cause numerous health issues, including decreased cognitive function and increased risk of certain diseases. The average adult requires approximately 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. Though individuals' need may vary, this comprehensive volume contains 14 chapters covering all aspects of sleep science, making it a complete resource on the subject. The author has conducted extensive research and compiled numerous scientific studies to provide readers with factual information about sleep patterns and disorder. 2 persons tell us what is right or what is wrong about this content. You can unmute yourself and speak. From what I read, who did this person write for? Who are the audience for the book? Everybody.
Okay. For me, first of all, the grammar is too much, one. Then number two, it wasn't really directed to any specific set of people.
Okay. Okay.
Can you hear me?
So who do you think may want to read this book? And what problem does this content solve for potential readers? Is there any emotional connection in it?
Not at all.
These are the questions you
I
can
for
ask
one,
yourself.
after the first two lines, even while you were reading, I got tired. To be honest, I got tired.
The book sounds like
No
academic
emotional,
books,
no
like
emotional
writing a
connection.
journal.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. It was so
I'm
boring.
trying.
I didn't understand what they were saying.
This
He
person is
made a lot
speaking
of
grammar.
statements also with no explanation, like arrow M and arrow F, I don't know again,
Do you know
and we
that?
don't
Do
even
you
know
know
what
that?
it means.
Do you know that's how many books that we write? Looks like when editors, when we receive some of the books you write, that's how we see it. But in your mind, you have written a powerful masterpiece. But you are speaking grammar and preaching. All right. I don't know if there's any other person that is still hanging. So, just like we have shared, we can't really say which person we want to read this book, who the audience the book is for, or there's no emotional connection. The person just want to lecture us, and this is supposed to be a book and not some kind of academic thesis. Okay, the person has joined already. So now let us quickly go and read the transformed content so that you can spot the difference it makes. All right. So first of all, you can see there's missing audience connection, just like you said. It has this academic tone with no consideration of who would read it and why. I've worked on some books, and the person will say something like, this is a process where an individual are like, I'm like, you are joking. Which individual are you talking about? A man or woman, boy or girl? All right. Can you use personal person pronoun? Can you say you? Can you say she or he? Can you say you? If you are talking to a woman, can you say you? Let that person, when you are reading it and the person is talking to you, you really know it is you and not some other person or some unknown public, generalized. So no clear reader benefits. You just want to give us information, and then information dump, and then lack of narrative purpose, missing reader's journey, no story, that really connects. Let's read the improved version. Let me not mix up things here. A moment. All right. So now this is the same content. This is the same idea. But now, this is how somebody who understands the mindset and the skill set that is needed in writing books in particular. This is what the person should do, should write. This is how that expression of that idea. We understand that this person is concerned about people getting enough sleep because it is very important for our health. But this person have not been able to get our attention, because if I see that book anywhere, I will not waste my time buying it. Somebody want to join? Just give me a minute. All right. So we'll get back. Now, this is the new title, The Sleep revolution. Reclaim your nights. Transform your day. Are you seeing where it is being specified, like talking to you? It's not say, what is the other title? The other title said, The History and Science of Sleep. Are you seeing that now? But this title is saying, Reclaim your night. The sleep evolution. Reclaim your night. Transform your day. As a reader, I feel like, I'm telling you, this book is for me. This book is for me. If I see this book, I'll buy it. Because I'm a night person. And then when a lot of things is on my mind, just like preparing for this boot camp, it gets so worse that even if I want to, the sleep will not come. Consistently for days now, I will be awake till 3 a.m. The other day, 4 a.m. I literally want to cry. I say, I want to sleep. I closed my laptop, kept my phone away, but the sleep will not come. So if I see somebody who will write this book in full and teach me how to reclaim my night and reclaim my sleep, oh my dear, tell me the price of the book. All right, so let's go and read it. Last night, look at it. I don't want to tell you what is in it, and I want you to listen and tell me what you heard when I finish reading. All right. Last night, 70 million people struggled to sleep. Maybe you were one of them. I certainly was. For nearly a decade, as a neuroscientist specializing in sleep disorders, I found myself in the ironic position of understanding the mechanics of healthy sleep while being completely unable to achieve it myself. The white coat and medical degree offered no protection against 3 a.m. anxiety, my people. The productivity What saved me wasn't another academic paper or a clinical trial. It was discovering the disconnect between what science knows about sleep and what most of us actually do in our bedrooms each night. This gap isn't just costing you hours of rest. It's silently sabotaging your health, your work performance, your emotional well-being, and even the length of your life. The good news, this gap can be bridged, often within days, by using evidence-based approaches that don't require prescription medications or expensive gadgets. Throughout this book, you will meet dozens of my patients, from busy parents to high-performing athletes to retirees who transformed their sleep and, by extension, their waking lives using the same step-by-step system I will share with you in this book. Sleep isn't merely a biological necessity. It's a foundation upon which every aspect of your working life is built. By the final chapter of this book, you will understand not just how to sleep better, but why the quality of your sleep, of your rest, might be the most important health intervention you will ever make. Your journey to a better sleep and a better life begins with the turning of these pages. What do you have to say?
Makes a whole lot of sense.
Wonderful. Very, very wonderful.
Who are the people in my club that want to read this book? Who want to reclaim their night and reclaim their sleep? I am in the 3 a.m. gang, and that's
I
why
need it though.
We
I
are the
hardly
3
sleep, so I
a.m.
need
gang.
it.
We are the 3 a.m. gang.
that's why I brought this example. It was intentional. So can you now tell me three things or four that you can identify from this transformed content that is not in the first content we read?
It's relatable.
It's relatable. What are the skills the writer employed? The mind
Storytelling.
Storytelling. From the
storytelling,
beginning, it was very, very nice. It was
beautiful.
captivating.
The video
Somebody
sound
said audience centered, beautiful. It's so
And
resonating.
yes, it's solving a problem as well. It's a solution solving a problem.
Yes. The writer is so confident of the solution he is providing or she is providing that he can assure you by the time you finish turning these pages, you must have reclaimed your night, that you don't need you know, complex medications or gadgets to do that. You know, he gives the audience hope for the fact that he's a medical doctor and had his own struggle of sleep. It makes you feel at home, like this person understands. Now when I see somebody who understands, because many times when people are trying to solve our problem, we are not open to them because we feel they don't understand. But when somebody is talking to you and you can see the person really understands, the person has been in your shoe or is in your shoe, you feel relaxed, like you feel vulnerable to open up for you to be helped. All right. But if the person come from one lofty place and say, damn, these people that are ignorant, people that don't know the importance of sleep, they are going to die young. You can pull your belt and start a fight, you know. I'll personally do that. All right. So you can see, we see the mindsets, audience mindset, original problem of academic tone was completely removed. He transformed it to and you know, acknowledging the reader's pain, knowing that he too has been there, you know, and he has gotten a guarantee, a result proved strategy to solve that problem. You want to listen to that person, you know, and he establishes authority that he is the right person to help you solve this problem by his qualification, his expertise, and then by virtue of experience. That is why you can't afford to write a dry book where you get yourself out of the book. I believe that every chapter you write, there should be a relatable story. I tell, when I'm working with people, I say, what is the entry story for this chapter? Give me an entry story for this chapter. Either something you experienced directly or as another person's experience, something you observed in your environment that can help us to nail this message. So you don't just come and tell somebody you need to have a healthy self-esteem. Health self-esteem is very important. According to Oxford Dictionary, health self-esteem is defined as this. And so, can you tell us how you struggled to build your self-esteem? Can you tell us where you are coming from? You know, can you bring it home and stop speaking big English? You can find that in Google. But when you bring yourself, the empathy with which you communicate, that is what transforms. That is what gives your readers, your listeners hope. That's what makes them to give themselves the chance to try, to give themselves the opportunity to evolve. You know, if it is the what we can just find everywhere, there's no need now. You don't need to waste your time. All right. So strategic narrative approach. Excuse me. Strategic narrative approach, you know, it solved all the problem. So let us move quickly. We have exhausted our time for that one. I'm going straight to the next one. I will give you this document. Somebody suggested it, so you can see all the impact of the transformed one. All right, the original problem has been solved. Clear reader's journey. Somebody sent me one review recently. I will not read it because he will be shy. He's on call. I laughed out loud because for me to understand what he said, I needed to go to Google to browse all the big words he was giving me. I said, please, can you speak simple English? And he said the same thing in simple English. That was when it started making sense. All right, so let's use case study 2. Let's go to case study 2, and I'm doing this for somebody. Parenting book introduction, Mrs. Ako, are you on call? All right. So this is the Conscious Parent Guide. I would like us to.
I'm here.
All right. Mute yourself. I would like us to go to the group and say state the topics you like to write on, or should I call it your niche, your writing niche, so that when I'm bringing case studies, I will be putting into consideration the participants so that I can be using case studies that really resonates with you. Go to the platform and say and state your writing niche, the topics, your topic area. Okay, I'm a parenting coach. I write in subjects of self-esteem, this and that. You know, okay, I'm just whatever. However it is you communicate the value you are offering, the kind of content you create. Go ahead and write it. I will use you as case study tomorrow. All right. So I did this with the mindset of a couple of persons I already know. All right. So now, parenting book introduction. And the title of this book is The Conscious Parent's Guide. When because I said so isn't enough. I will read. Every parent has experienced that moment. Your child looks you in the eye. Excuse me, somebody want to enter. We have to solve this problem once and for all tomorrow. Don't want to be doing this. The thing is that I'm not even seeing where the person is. Unlike when it will just pop up and say somebody want to enter. All right. Sorry for the distraction. So every parent has experienced that moment. Your child looks you in the eye and asks, why? For the 15th time, and you are out of explanation. You are exhausted. You just need them to listen. So those 4 faithful words slip out because I said so. So the why you want them to do it is because you said so. At that moment, you are not alone. In my 20 years as a family therapist, working with over 3,000 families, I have heard this scenario described in nearly every initial consultation. What's happening is this in this moment isn't just about stubborn children or frustrated parents. It's about a communication gap that, when bridged, can transform your family dynamics forever. This book doesn't just offer theories for perfect parenting. Instead, I will share practical communication frameworks that have helped real families move from power struggle to partnership, even during the most challenging developmental stages. The approaches in these pages have been tested and refined in living rooms just like yours, with parents just as tired as you are, facing challenges just as complex as the ones you face today. Tell me about this content. Tell me the strength of the content and any identified weakness. Relatable.
That it's targeted to an
relatable.
audience, which are parents.
Parents. It's audience centric. It's written for a people. Okay. Is there any gap? One more response, then we'll review it together. That content is near perfect. What do you think? That person is an expert. That person has results. That person has a guarantee of, really providing solution, because he has helped many people. And just like one person said, it is so relatable. It's not, he didn't write it like a thesis. All right. All right. So now look at a touch of that, a touch on that content, and I will identify the little improvements. All right. So when, because I said so isn't working, a survival guide for parents on the edge. I want you to take note of the transformation in the even the title. Tomorrow, when we'll be talking about non-fiction book writing mastery, we will do more than this. All right. So I want you to be particular to also pay attention about titling, like crafting title, appropriate title for what you are writing, whether it's actually a book or a simple post you want to make. I don't know whether you have ever been disappointed by a title. I was even telling a sister recently that you have a good idea, but the title of that book, if what you have written now, if you put it inside the title, inside the book, and just like a book, excuse me. Okay, I wanted to bring a book. I wanted to bring my work, but my work is not close by. I'll just use anyone. Just like this book now. The name of this book is Making Children Mind Without Losing Yours. I'm reading it as a parent. All right. So if the name of the book contradicts the content of the book, you have disappointed your readers. So because when I see a book title, when we see a book title, it should give us a clear overview of what should be inside the book. I have said this before. As a worship minister, I saw a book once titled Kindle Worship, and that is a phrase that I find very personal because of, personal encounter. Kindle Worship, I was like, wow, Kindle Worship, fire sister. I was so interested in reading that book, brethren, when I opened the book. If I bought that book in a bookshop, I would have gone there and made trouble until I get a refund. It has nothing to do with worship, let alone Kindle. All right. So don't give us a book that betrays our expectation. The content is contradicting the title. The title is contradicting the content. I will talk about it more tomorrow. So let's go ahead and dwell on mindset. All right. So I said that to see the transformation applied rather in the title of this. The crayon marks are still fresh on your wall. The timeout timer just, oh my God, somebody want to enter. Admitted. Welcome, ma. The timeout timer just broke from overuse, and you are threatened to count to 3 so many times. Mothers, we are guilty. That your 5 years old now calmly waits until 2 to 3 quarters before deciding to listen. Even my 2 years old. I get it. As both a child psychologist and a mother of 3, that is me. Oh my God. Parents, extra grace, particularly stubborn children, have been exactly where you are, exhausted, frustrated, and secretly wondering if everyone else's kids came with better instruction manual than mine. All right, that is the author speaking. I tell my children, I give you instruction, you obey immediately. And when like my 4 years old, when she does, she will even identify it and say, Mommy, when you said I should drop it, I dropped it immediately. And she wants to be commended for actually obeying immediately. I say, that's good. That's good. You say, when my brother hurt me, I did not hurt him back. I say, yes, that's good. There's love in your heart, So they really know what to do. They do. So when they don't do that thing, you feel like this child is really out to get me, and I will get you before you get me. All right, so let's get back to our reading. So here is what 2 decades of working with more than 3,000 families has taught me. The most effective parents aren't the ones who never yell or who craft pin interest perfect discipline charts. The most effective parents are the ones who understand what's actually happening in their child's developing brain and adjust their approach accordingly. This isn't another book of impossible standards from someone whose children seem suspiciously perfect. It's a reality-based guide for real parents with real kids who sometimes make real questionable decisions, like using your toothbrush to clean the toilet, I'm telling you, or cutting their own hair before picture day. Let me admit someone. Like my son coming to scribble on my laptop. Hey, oh Jesus. Clean HP standard laptop. Oh my God. You want a fight? So I have this phrase now. Don't play with my laptop. Don't play with my laptop. My laptop is not played to see your building block, see your charts, see your all of your toys. I will buy more. Don't near my laptop. You know. So so when you hear that somebody is using your toothbrush to go and wash toilet or clean their potty, all right. So this isn't another book I've read here. Each chapter tackles a specific challenging behavior, from deviance to sibling rivalry to those public meltdowns that make you consider changing your name and moving to another state. I'm telling you. You will learn why your 4-year-old can recite complex dinosaurs facts but seemingly can't remember the rule about not hitting when angry. How to decode the real message behind annoying behaviors and respond to what your child actually needs. How to protect your relationship with your child while still holding boundaries. If you are looking for quick fixes or ways to make your child blindly obedient, this book isn't for you. But if you are ready for strategies that actually work, even when you are exhausted, even when you are at your wits and at your wits end, then turn the pages. Your whole family deserves better than because I said so. Tell me your observation. The previous content was wow, but what changed? I'm listening. The previous content was near perfect, but what changed? I need your feedback home. I'll give you assignment. I'll give you scattered content.
I'm already feeling like I should buy the book.
If you say, go and write that book. Oh, it's not real. Oh, I made it up. Oh, I made up this story. Go and write the real book.
Please, I'm on it with you.
Even the other one, they are not real books that are anywhere. Go and write the book. If you catch any inspiration, I give you free hand permission to run with the idea. All right, so tell me your observation. The first content was near perfect, but what changed with the one I just read?
Okay, for me, this second one, we have more relatable context. Okay, so you see the writer giving a real life experience, things that are very relatable with children, so you can relate with it. Yes, and also at the end, you could see the writer giving you hope, letting you know that there's a way around it. So I think those were really distinct for me.
Beautiful. All right. So thank you very much for sharing. But I just noticed that some particular persons are the ones responding and some persons are just observing. This is supposed to be much more engaging. I'm going to call names now. I'm going to call names. All right. So if you see, we are behind the time. We still have 2 more case studies. So I will call names in the next case studies. I will not allow Coach Vera to talk again. So you can see relatable opening scenarios. All right. Immediately puts the reader in a familiar, frustrating situation. Okay. And then the transformed one establishes author's dual credibility, both as a professional. He said he's a psychologist, and then personally, he said she's a mother of 3. Because it's one thing to be a psychologist, and it's another thing to be a mother. You can be a psychologist and you know all the theories, but you have not entered the shoe with us, so you will not understand, or we will believe you don't understand. But for the fact that this person is double qualified to speak to us, she's a psychologist and then a mother of 3. You can talk, let us listen, because we feel you understand. You are there, or you have been there. You understand. So that is what the second one brought into play. And then he acknowledges readers' real feeling, validating the frustration, exhaustion, and comparison with other parents. When you feel like your child has embarrassed you in the public, and, excuse me, you are praying for more grace for you not to, lose it or try to prove a point in the public by hitting your child, And then clear value proposition, very specific. In fact, he bulleted it. He listed it. This is it. Realistic promises about the book's deliveries. All right. So when we read your book introduction, many times when I get book, I say edit this book. There's no introduction. What they are calling introduction is maybe one chapter 1 or another chapter, or it's not even supposed to be anywhere in the book. Your introduction is not what is the word I should use now? Your introduction is not I will remember the word. It's just that I don't want to use real actual my before and after client book. That is not our work ethics. I would have shown you some things. All right. So let's get back to my made up stories. All right. So acknowledges readers' real feelings, addresses readers' objection, and structured scannable formats. That bulleted preview of what is to expect. This is the touch. Probably the editor brought into the book. After that intelligent, skilled author did a good job. Really, that author did a good job. But you can see the touch that the transformed content brought into it. Emotional connection and defined readers' journey. All right. So for those who want to build career in writing, I hope you are learning. You can really get work from clients who are good. They know what they are saying, and they are expressing themselves in the best way they can, So, but you are able to bring something. You are able to bring a touch that makes all the difference. All right. So normally, if I didn't tell you something was wrong with that first content, you may not even think about it. It's already so beautiful. But by the time you are seeing the transformed one now, you are able to identify the gap and know, oh, that content was really nice, but more could have been done, So that is it. We'll move to case study 3. This is a memoir. Somebody telling her story. All right? This is a memoir. Somebody telling her story. I tell people, when you want to write your memoir, what is it called? I hope I'm calling it correctly. Your personal story is not a preaching. What did I say? Type it in the comment section. Story is story. Your testimony your biography or your personal story, the way they call it, is not a preaching. It's not a teaching book. We have teaching books, you know, and even the teaching books, when you are really teaching, there is still the place of storytelling in driving home points that you are teaching about. All right. But that is, by the way, we'll talk more about different kinds of non-fiction tomorrow. Okay. So this is somebody who wants to share her personal story, what we call memoir. All right. And now this is what the person wrote. This memoir details the author's experience with clinical depression. And I want you to know that, you see all these examples I'm giving, I have worked on projects like this. I worked on projects like this. I'm sure Mr. Nathaniel can think of the book that could have inspired this example I'm about to read now. You know, but I don't want to use the actual writing. That is why I coined them this way. All right. So this is what this person, how this person is writing it. Details the author's experience with clinical depression over a 10-year period. Depression is a serious mental health condition affecting millions of individuals globally. Symptoms typically include persistent sadness, loss of interest in previously enjoyed activities, and feelings of worthlessness. A moment, let me admit someone. The author was diagnosed in 2010 following a particularly difficult period in her life. Various treatment modalities were attempted, including cognitive behavioral therapy, medication management, and lifestyle modifications. Recovery was a non-linear process with multiple setbacks. Statistics indicate that approximately 20% of individuals will experience depression at some point. Experiences aligns with common clinical presentations. The memoir concludes with the author's eventual recovery and the coping mechanism that proved most effective in her case. Readers suffering from similar conditions may find this account informative. Criticize the content. What are the mindset and skill set that are missing? I am calling somebody by the name Jacinta. I know why. Sorry if I don't pronounce your surname rightly. But if you have been in this class, criticize the memoir of this woman who passed through depression, who experienced depression that I just read. Jacinta. Then somebody, Agaba Uche, unmute. Then Toyin, somebody Toyin. Please, if I called your name, kindly unmute and say something. Criticize the content I read. This is somebody's personal story, supposed memoir, and that was how the introduction was written. We also have Chioma Iyayi. Please, I apologize in advance if I murder your name. Unmute yourself and give us feedback. Quick, please. We are behind. We are supposed to be in case 34. We have...
This is are you talking? This is not a memoir, and it's not relatable in any way. There's no emotional connection. To be honest, it's too academic. It's not like someone is writing their own story or something. So a lot of faults.
Okay, who is speaking, please? I can't see your name.
Chioma Iyayi.
Oh, I called the name correctly. I need chicken for that. All right. Another person I called somebody Agaba Uche. I believe he's a man. Sir, please say something. In fact, I've not been hearing men's voice here. Coach Victor, Come out.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. You've not called my name, that's why.
Say it. Sir
Um,
Timothy.
well, just like
Yes,
Mrs. Chop said, I did not feel the personal connection. You said it's a personal account, but I can't feel that personal connection. It's more like abstract. That
Okay.
is my own.
Okay. So I'm giving somebody a personal assignment. Mr. Timothy, you see that idea you shared with me? That thing, the content you shared with me on WhatsApp. Now, can
yes, ma'am.
you see what is wrong with it? Can you tell us?
My content, right?
Now I'm not responding. I told you to come to class. I don't know where to start. So can you identify
It
what
is
is wrong with it?
I've actually been following the class, and I think it's interesting. But I'm still
Okay.
yet to pick the direct thing that's actually wrong with it.
You are preaching. You are preaching in what you shared with me. You know, stage presentation, especially when we want to write something, especially I think Christians do this more, you know.
Okay.
Yes. The way when you are speaking to an audience in church, or you are making a presentation, you are facing, you know, congregation, the people. The way you talk, the way you communicate when you are speaking, is not the same way you communicate when you are writing.
Wow. Thank you.
So preaching is different from writing a book. So
Okay.
in what you shared with me, you are not writing, you are preaching. It's not the audience not clear. There is no connection. There's no what's the word now? Clarity of the problem you have identified that you want to solve. So I want
Wow.
you after this class to rewrite those content and send it back to me.
Okay.
Yes.
That's my own assignment.
Yeah, that's your personal assignment.
Thank you.
All right. So let's quickly go and read the transformed one. In fact, somebody said it's not even a memoir. Yeah, she disqualified it. Machoma disqualified it. Bam, bam. All right. So look at memoir on overcoming depression. Look at the title. Climbing Back, a woman's journey through the valley of depression. That sounds like a book title now. All right. So now let's read. And I've worked on projects like this a lot. People sharing their life experiences, you know, passing through hard times, you know. Excuse me. So I read. I used to believe depression had a look, unkept hair, unwashed clothes, drawn blinds. That's why on the morning I hosted a successful charity lunch on, no one suspected that I had contemplated not waking up at that morning. Sorry. Not my colleagues who praised my organizational skill. Not my husband who marveled at my endless energy. Not my children. Not my children who relied on my seemingly effortless ability to manage their complicated lives alongside my own. That day in 2016 marked both my lowest point and the beginning of my climb back. Not to who I was before, but to someone more authentic, more compassionate, and ultimately more whole. This book isn't about portraying depression as something easily conquered through positive thinking or green smoothies. I tried those remedies alongside dozens of others suggested by well-meaning friends. What finally worked was far less Instagram friendly, specialized therapy, medications that took six attempts to get right, brutal, honest conversations, and dismantling this perfect life facade I spent I spent decades constructing. If you've picked up this book, perhaps you are in your own valley, or perhaps you love someone who is. Either way, I want you to know that I desperately needed to hear during those darkest days. This path through depression isn't walked in a straight line. Recovery isn't a checklist to complete, and healing doesn't mean returning to exactly who you were before. Ah, that's powerful. Healing doesn't mean returning to exactly who you were before. The journey I'm about to share isn't a blueprint. It's a companion for your own unique climb back. Oh, somebody say something. How does each book excerpt demonstrate audience first thinking? I'm waiting for your feedback, but I want to read an introduction of an actual book for you, a book I will recommend. A moment. I want to read that introduction for you. Courtesy of Content Blog, work with Mary Bowman, one of the book we launched last month ending. She's not on call. I'm coming. Let me look for that book. I'm waiting for your feedback. What changed? What changed in the new content? I'm waiting.
A very unique story.
Okay.
That I would like to know the end of it.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think the transformed version was able to get my attention and really wants me to read further. So she spoke with authority as one that has really been through that journey before.
Beautiful. Now let me read an actual project work introduction. The introduction that inspired this made up one. That's like all right. So here is the introduction of a book of somebody who passed through a similar situation, getting over something like depression and anxiety or things like that that has to do with, excuse me, instability mentally because of one reason or the other. So this is this person's case, and I will recommend this book to us. The title is Power of Words. It's a project by Content Blog. Okay. Let me just go to the introduction. That's what I want to show you. It sounds like that introduction I just read. Now look at the introduction we drafted for this book. The Power of Words, My Life's Testimony. That's the title. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. Words are powerful. They have the ability to create and destroy, transform and devalue. I never truly understood the depth of this truth until I found myself trapped in the terrifying grip of fear, a fear that I had unknowingly invited into my life through my words. For months that seemed like years, I lived in the shadow of anxiety and depression, weighed down by confessions of fear that gradually shaped my reality. This is my testimony, a journey that began in the depth of despair, but ultimately led to freedom, healing, and restoration. In this book, I share my experience not as a polished, finished product, but as someone who has walked through the fire and emerged stronger. It's a story of how my life spiraled into chores and how the power of affirming and visualizing God's word brought me back to life. Each chapter unfolds a part of my journey, from my carefree life before fear took root to the turning point where I discovered the transformative power of speaking God's truth over my life. This book is not just my story. It's a reminder that no matter how deep the struggle, there is hope for healing and freedom through the power of faith-filled words. Hear my testimony. What do you think about the book introduction? Do you want to read it?
Yes, so
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, so
All right, let me read another book introduction for you. Let me read another book introduction for you. Okay, let me use my book, Wisdom of the Ant. Oh my God, our time is fast spent. I'm leaving my book introduction. Let's get back to the last case study I want to show you so that we can take questions, okay? Tomorrow, I will show you more books, all right? Are we good to go? Are you there? So I won't read this one anymore. I will not read. There's another book, Child Development and Discipline Techniques. I will not read this one. I will show you. I will send you this before and after documents. All right. Then, oh, we still have a lot, but we don't have much time again. We have finished our schedule. So now, in summary, what you can derive from all these case studies is the powerful narrative hooks, the entry, the emotional involvement, the storytelling employed, the authentic voice and expression. Are you taking note of these things? You know, the strategic storytelling, the balanced tone, the audience-centric, approach, the definite purpose or defined purpose approach of the transformed content and all of that. You know, so I want you to evaluate yourself. Evaluate yourself. If you have written something in the past, pick up that thing now and read it with the eyes of what you've learned this night and criticize it yourself. Tell yourself if you have done, if you have employed the skill set, the mindset and the skill set we have discussed tonight. All right, the mindset we talked about, right for a people, right for a purpose, right for a people, you know, right to solve a problem, employ storytelling, make it resonating, you know, bring in the emotion, be clear in your communication, let your expression, you know, be relatable. And then we talked about the skill set, be creative in it, you know, in as much as you need to research and find in fact. When you are expressing those facts, you express it from a point of authority, experience, and, you know, personal story and all of that. So I've been able to show you these things, and I want us to take one or two questions. I will send you assignment and send you part of this book. Tell me what you've learned. You are a creator, you have a message, your authentic voice is second to nobody. Don't feel like somebody is already saying what you want to say. So you are going to sit back there and shut down your potential. You know, I'm waiting. Feedback. What stood out for you? What are you taking out from here? What are you going to do differently?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, please. My name is Elijah Due, and I'm from Tema.
Wow. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Please, I tried join. Unfortunately, the network at my side was very bad for me. to be able to follow the lesson as it's supposed to be. So I don't know if I can have the recorded version so that I can follow with the class.
Okay. I'll give you the
Yeah.
recorded version for today.
All right.
Because
Thank you
of
very
a
much.
peculiar issue.
Thank you also for the good job, the good work that you are doing for us. We are very
You're
grateful.
welcome. You're welcome. So the part you were able to listen in spite of the network fluctuation, what have you learned?
My network is breaking in between, so it means that I don't follow vividly to be able to make a point out of it what I'm following.
Oh, that's bad. It's okay, no
Yeah,
problem.
that is why.
What's your name again?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, it's all right. I'll give you the replay. So I'm waiting for
Thank you very much.
feedbacks. I think I'll stop this one.
Good evening, everyone. This is Victor.
Okay.
What I learned, what stood out for me, everything stood out for me. But if I'm to summarize it, I think I should own my story. I should not be ashamed of voicing out my content. And then whenever I'm putting out a content, I should carry my audience in mind, not just myself. I should make sure I'm speaking to the people I am meeting in need and I am providing value. And I should be more practical than theoretical. That's my
Beautiful.
take home. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. More practical than theoretical. Don't just come from a point of view of one dissociated person speaking to people who it concerns. I'm waiting for
Hello.
feedback. Yes, sir.
Yes, one strong thing I've learned is to see beauty, great potential in yourself, and then be ready
Good.
to give to someone.
Beautiful. Don't feel like, what do I know? Everybody is doing it already. You admire every other person, not but yourself. Remember? No. It's not a good mindset. As a creator, you have to acknowledge the value you've got. Have to acknowledge the value you've got. There's something that is supposed to be part of this class that we didn't have time to touch, but I'll bring it up first tomorrow. And that is something I call my book writing ideation worksheet that I will give to you. It will be part of your assignment. By the time you finish answering those questions on your own, you will have at least 15 titles waiting for you to write on. You will see that you've been sitting on so much ideas you don't know because you have not been thinking about it. If you do that worksheet, you should at least come up with 15, I promise you. Or 10. If you did it, let's just get along. Yes, I'll give you the worksheet. It's to be part of your assignment or non-fiction book writing tomorrow. But for tonight, you're going to get your skill set and mindset worksheet for you to evaluate yourself and say, okay, this is where I have strengths so far in what I have observed. Okay, this is where I need to work on. All right. So I need more feedback. Before we call it a night. 5 more minutes.
I think my own strong points would be the power of storytelling, how it just brings everything together, because the difference in the illustrations you gave just made a whole lot of sense, that how storytelling can carry everybody along.
Beautiful.
So that's very, very important.
Beautiful.
Storytelling.
I can't talk about storytelling. If I want to talk about storytelling, it's a lot. It's 2 modules in Right to Wealth course. The full course of what I extracted, these 20 slides. Storytelling is 2 modules or 3 in this course. a lot, how to write compelling narrative and all of that. So it's a skill, it's a strategy you cannot you know, you cannot keep aside when it comes to writing. All right. So I'm coming.